Well, I was hoping someone would randomly start a conversation, but that 30 seconds of silence is telling me no. So,
I'm
hello,
thinking about chicken
uh,
wings right now.
welcome to
I,
the Fandom Flux podcast, episode
I
whatever.
thought everyone was still like in the bathroom and stuff, but okay. Yeah.
Uh,
There's
Yeah, we
still
were
chicken
sort of
wings.
expecting you to give us a reprieve, Casey.
oh, did anyone need a reprieve?
No, I'm good.
Nah.
I guess not. Okay. I just kind of assumed everyone was going to leave and use the bathroom, but all right.
Oh,
That works.
All right.
if you
Well,
needed,
if
call
there's
it
no...
out, but it was 30 seconds of nothing, so I was like, alright, let's fucking do it.
All right, so episode 281. Hello, everybody.
Yay! We're doing the thing and stuff. I'm Casey. How's it going? And we got Zero.
Chicken wings are really good. My dad makes some really good ones with like barbecue sauce. He's really gotten it down like perfectly, but I mean, what do you expect?
I mean, it's. I assume there's something more to the description than chicken wings with barbecue sauce because that
They're handmade. They're really good.
I feel like that's standard is
Yeah.
barbecue sauce wing.
But he like also like bakes them, and he has this whole process. They came out really really good. Best wings.
Well, that's good.
Slices here.
Hey, what's up? I'm not having wings because I don't like boned meat, but there you go.
Really?
Coward.
Nope. I bit into a drumstick once and there was it was probably grease, but it looked like blood and it just started bleeding. So that was disturbing.
Coward.
Yeah, I mean you can get that from boneless meat as well, but yeah,
Well, yes, but it's less likely, and it's never happened.
it's happened to me. It's not great, but you know.
Coward.
And
Also, I
patience
just
here.
don't like cartilage. I find all of it with my mouth.
Patience here.
Oh, no one cares about me as much as they care about a nice discussion on chicken wings, surely.
I mean, that's not fair.
Please join our chicken wing discourse.
And don't call me
It's,
Shirley.
That's an old joke for old people.
I hate you, Zero. So much. Okay. Just gonna let that pass. Alright. So, this week, I'm gonna go first because I never go first. What did I do this week? I started Final Fantasy XIV. It's alright. That's about all I can say about it so far. Much to the probable chagrin of Ethan and Bifresh, who are very much into it. I think it's okay. Aside from that, not much coming to mind. I've been trying to, like, I finished that commission that I've been working on for a while, like 7, maybe 8 weeks. I can't remember.
Nice.
The commissioner wants another one, which is great. But I asked for a break for a week so I could work on other stuff, and that almost happened. The working on other stuff, I mean. A couple of things got started and didn't really get very far. But I have some solid ideas written down now, I guess. So the next time I get a break, maybe I could do something with them.
I mean, that's a start at least. Something.
Yeah. And beyond that, and yes, I did say beyond that, just so I wouldn't say aside from that. I may have made a mistake in doing a thing that was probably unwise.
What did you do?
So I have a hospital appointment on Tuesday. You know that thing about having my wisdom teeth out that I've been trying to get done for the past 6 months?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my appointment's
So-
on Tuesday. That's happening.
So what you're saying is the Fandom Flux podcast is going to be on hiatus for a couple of months.
No.
It only takes a couple weeks to recover from surgery.
Hmm.
With
Yeah, and
surgery.
even then, it's not that bad. Like it,
I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't been through it. Sorry.
yeah. It's like a couple of days that you can't talk at most. After that, it's just really not eating solid foods. Just fucking do not. And that lasts for about a week to 10 days. And then pretty much fine. Assuming everything goes well. Which was where my mistake came in, was the looking up, what if it doesn't go well, though? What
Why would you ever do that?
what
Why?
might I be in for? And that was how I learned about the thing that is going to haunt my nightmare on Monday night, and that is the dry socket. Which is what happens. I guess I'll drop a warning here for people that are squeamish. Maybe jump forward a couple minutes. That is what happens when, after the surgery, there is supposed to be a clot that forms where the tooth used to be. If that comes out, then all of the bone and nerve endings are just sort of out there. And it is very painful. And it will only get more painful while it heals. So yeah. I look forward to the possibility of having 4 of those. That sounds fun.
Nah, you'll be fine. Do you regularly dehydrated?
Not to my knowledge.
Make sure you're not. Then you'll be fine.
Okay.
It's kind of one of those things. It doesn't happen if you bleed, but if you're dehydrated, you don't bleed a lot. So, yeah.
Okay.
Drink
so,
water.
A lot of water, yeah. No straws. And no solid foods. Or even chewy foods. Like, that's also a thing it says. Don't do that.
Oh, yeah, because you'll rip out your stitches. It's
yeah.
great.
So,
Don't eat ice cream. That's my personal takeaway. Don't eat ice cream. It feels like torture.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, the main conceit is don't eat solid foods because you don't want things to touch your teeth. So just eat things that you can just swallow straight down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yogurt is the big one, and soup that has been recommended.
Applesauce and pudding.
Fucking applesauce. I couldn't eat applesauce if I wanted to.
Cheesecake.
Is it a texture thing? What's disgusting about applesauce?
I've just always thought it was gross.
Oh,
I
fair
love
enough.
applesauce.
Same.
I love apples in general.
So, yeah. It's a thing I'm looking forward to. It's going to be fun. Yeah, so that's... My Tuesday is going to be fun, because that's a morning of not eating. Then my appointment at 11:30. My appointment. At 11:30. And then probably about 4 hours of surgery, for which I will be knocked out. Yay.
Thankfully.
Yep, that was a good decision on my part as far as I'm concerned. Like, it was a choice between just the bottom ones coming out and I just get numbed for it, or just do all of them at once, which needs to happen anyway, and I'm just completely out. And I'll just wake up and they'll be gone. And I'm assuming that whole 4 dry sockets thing doesn't happen. I'll be very happy about that choice. Just get it done and over with. But yeah, then I will be staying at my parents' house because the hospital policy is you have to be watched for a day just in case anything untoward happens after the surgery and things go wrong. Just, fair enough. So I'm going to be out of commission and away from anything and everything for a full day. Just might be the most harrowing part of this. I'm away from my computer for a day. No.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm scared.
I mean, you got a phone.
I do. I can't see it, so
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, don't want to add eye strain on the list of things I'll be dealing with that day.
That's a fair point. Okay, yeah.
So that's gonna be a thing. I will probably be on quite a few painkillers for a little while. So fun. Yay. Haven't had soup in a while though, so looking forward to rediscovering soup. I've bought a lot of soups.
I have a few good recipes if you want to try making it yourself.
No, thank you, but no.
I don't.
But
I don't think Casey has the kitchen for that.
I don't. I have no pots and pans. I have no nothing. I don't have a stove. Like, if I could cook it in a microwave or a kettle, probably work. I have a toaster, if that would help. But aside from that, no, I got nothing. Yeah, that's pretty much my week, though. So, just making myself nervous and playing a game that was okay. That's my week. Yeah.
Pretty solid.
If you say so.
I mean, nothing bad happened, so yeah, that's good.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that's all for next week. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You should be going to the
Hey.
dry socket right now.
Yeah, that's very...
I mean, if you just focus on what's going to go wrong, then, it's just negative thinking. Just focus on the positive. And if the worst thing happens, well, then that sucks. But it's not likely to happen.
Okay, so... Yeah. Patient, do you want to go next?
I can, sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, there's not too much to fill in despite how many weeks I've been out. Just a bunch of the same old stuff over and over again. Not looking forward to... Not looking forward to the bonus presentation coming up soon at my work. Partly because I'm afraid I won't get my Christmas bonus for reasons, but partly because it means listening to our CEO talk. Let's just say that he is in favor of the current state of the US government.
Oh boy.
That's really all that needs to be said. And he likes to talk.
Most people that are Trump supporters do.
Yeah, I was going to ask what the current state of the U.S. government means, because the current state of the U.S. government seems to be impeaching the president, so...
Well, I mean...
It's a mess. It's
when I heard him speak last December, he was in favor of the current status of the U.S. government.
Ah, okay, fair enough then. So...
Yes. Aside from that... I mean, work has been going all right. My manager has gotten back from her knee replacement surgery because the company wouldn't give her any more paid time off. So she came back sooner than she probably should have. This month has been good to us. We might hit our quota for the second time this year.
Ouch. I feel like the quotas are way too high. If it's
They
twice.
were. They just... We did not have the staff for it. So, yeah. Now we do, and it's a much more reasonable goal besides. Not looking forward to what I see next month, though, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Not looking forward to what? You cut out just a little bit.
seeing what the quota is for next month.
Ah,
So
Christmas time, not the kind of time of year that I would expect people to be like, I'd like to open a checking account this month. That's not really when I would be planning to do that, to be perfectly honest. But,
Nope.
no. That does actually bring up a good question. Do those quotas ever change based on the season and projected sales and
nope.
logic?
They take whatever we made last year in that month, add 10 or 20%, and that's it.
Wow. I feel like I need to get hired as like a manager because, wow, I'm stupid and I think of way better ways than that.
Yeah, but that would require.
It would require them paying any mind to what managers want.
It's.
We have 11 branches. 4 of them don't even have managers.
Like, practically speaking, what impact do the quotas have beyond stressing people out and quote unquote motivating them? Do they have practical effects?
There's a small cash incentive for every account you bring in, every referral you do, and they stack up for your Christmas bonus at the end of the year. But it's not worth it.
So the quota itself, just as a whole, doesn't really mean anything.
No, there's a punishment for not hitting it from month to month. Miss it too many times and you can lose out on your bonus. Or your job. And I mean,
The job part is the worst one.
Yeah.
honestly, it's not. I'm not sure about the quota itself. I mean, there are 2 different quotas. All the employees have a set number of accounts that they have to reach every month. And then there's a bigger quota for the entire branch. Well, sometimes it's bigger. Usually it's bigger. And that one is the one that we're working towards most of the time.
And that one, I assume, since it's branch wide, doesn't really impact much. It's just a target.
Well, doesn't impact much aside from our manager being held responsible for reaching that quota. Yeah. I love my manager, but no, I'll just leave it at that. Brighter news. I've been playing Pokemon Shield this week.
Ah.
You went with Shield. Interesting.
Yeah. I have tried and failed against the champion a few times now.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I didn't really have a set team. I had a handful of Pokemon that I kept coming back to.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to actually solidify a team. I guess my interest was more in clearing the game as quick as I could, which it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, clearing the game and filling out my Pokedex as much as I could.
Like, he was a toughie, and I was a bit over-leveled as well.
And I was severely underleveled. I was severely overleveled for most of the game. Then I got to the champion.
Yep.
Wake-up call.
Is that the guy that has all the fucking brand insignias on
Yes.
his cape? Yeah.
Yep.
Captain NASCAR. Yeah.
The guy who chose his number to be number 1.
And, of course, I mean, I think Cynthia has competition with this guy.
It depends
Okay.
on what you're ranking them on.
I'm a little confused. What do you mean?
Just in terms of difficulty.
Oh, not what I thought you meant at all. But because of the XP share, I've actually heard that you need enough badges so you can raise your max level Pokemon that will actually listen to you. The system seems massively outdated now that XP share cannot be turned off.
Yeah, kind of.
One thing I will say, having beaten that game, for the most part, a lot of it was kind of easy for me. Because I did actually spend time doing the raids and everything that they have, and going out and trying to capture. So I ended up over leveled by a lot. That being said, the champion was still he was a decent challenge. He was on par with in terms of level with me, which I was not expecting. But little did he know I had planned to destroy him since I saw that he had a Charizard and he was trying to be competitive. And we all know that Charizard does not survive in competitive.
I mean,
I didn't actually know that.
I would plan to destroy him as soon as I saw that fucking cape, but you know. God, I hate that cape.
I'm actually curious what you guys thought of the rival.
There's 3.
The bratty one that apparently eventually catches a legendary.
Spoilers.
Is that really?
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know if it is true either. But yeah, I guess he's the one that he acts like a complete dick to you. And I guess you...
if it's spoilers, don't fucking talk about it.
No, I'm just
you mean
specifying which one I mean.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is, hey, if it's spoilers, don't talk about it and clarify. Is what I'm saying. So, you know.
Okay, so which one... Okay, how do you guys think about the 3 rivals then? I can't specify which one I'm talking about.
I've only seen 2.
The 3 I guess we would specify are characters that were shown already pre-release, which were Hop, Marnie, and
Marnie. I forgot about her.
Speed. Yeah, they're who I would quantify as the rivals, and
yeah,
I personally enjoy where they end up going story-wise. Like initially, they don't seem to have much, but I end up enjoying the directions they went. Like, Hop is the younger brother of the champion, which means you're the worst thing to happen to him.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Yep.
But yeah, I really much enjoyed that game. Patient, when you what team are you kind of rolling with? Any oldies, or sticking with like a lot of the newer Pokemon?
The current team I have assembled that I'm challenging the champion with consists of my starter, Rillaboom, Corviknight, Salazzle, Frostlass, Jellicent, and hold on.
Because I went with the Fire Starter.
There's one name I want to hear, and he's not saying it. I'm just hanging by a thread, waiting.
I went with the Fire Starter, Cinderace. Let's see what form was. And then I had there was that witch fairy Pokemon Hatterene fully evolved form. Frostless, because I like Frostless a lot. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Now.
Patient, do you know what it was yet?
I'm still trying to think.
And then I got a Flygon from a raid, and I was like, yes, thank you.
Espeon, that's what it was. I recently found one in the Lake of Outrage.
Oh, what was that, Slicer?
I didn't realize you could get Pokemon from raids. I thought that was
so
just
when you do the raid, you catch the Pokemon, whatever it is, and if you catch the Pokemon, it will always have the hidden ability rather than the standard ability.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's really useful for that.
I'll have to look more into that.
In addition, one thing that they don't tell you is you have to turn the online actually on through a menu. You have to push plus to connect to online because it's normally set to local by default. So you connect to online, and then you can just go to the area on your kind of online menu where you go to stamps, and from the stamps section you can join any raid that's ongoing and looking for people. And that's the best way to get into 4-man raids with actual players instead of the fill-ins. But
I should also note, with my team, I was trying with another Pokemon, but it just doesn't fit with the composition of Leon's team and mine.
Yeah.
Still, that would be Dracovish.
Yeah. I had my last two were Corviknight and Falinks.
Who were you hoping to hear, Casey?
How is no one on the Goon Squad?
The what? What?
Oh, Obstagoon?
Yes!
Oh.
Because Falinks. You know what Falinks is?
I'm disappointed in both of you.
Falinks is literally Phalanx formation. It's 6 little Kirby enemies that group together.
Execute.
Obstagoon is a badger! How do you not want to have a badger?
Because I had the might of Sparta on my side.
You badger.
Like, look at these good boys. Freaking the best Phalanx. And they have a special move called No Retreat, which boosts all their stats, but they cannot leave the battle. They cannot be switched out. So they fight to the last man.
Casey seems to be a bit salty about the fact that neither of us used Obstagoon. Oh yeah, Obstagoon was pretty useful for me when I traded him for the Cantonian Mr. Mime.
Brutal.
So...
Also, that's not what a phalanx looks like.
No, they're not in formation there. That's them just running around.
Do they actually have shields?
Okay, so look, their arms are shields, right? So when they're in formation, they look like this.
That's also not a phalanx. That's
okay though. They're trying their best.
Phalanx is a square formation. All right, whatever.
I love them.
Ugh.
My favorite new Pokemon to ever exist. But in addition, freaking, I forgot what I was going to say.
Phalanx is stupid, and you should have had an Obstagoon instead.
That Charizard has a 4 times weakness to Rock type moves because he has Fire and Flying.
Mm-hmm.
So I just used Stone Edge as Flygon, and he was instantly dead, 1-hit KO. What I'm saying is, I don't know why I know why for theming and for story, but when competitively your choice makes no sense, you have to wonder why nobody could beat your Charizard before now.
Because the power of friendship.
I mean, look at Garchomp. It's quad weak to ice, and it's still perfectly formidable. Same goes for Dragonite.
Yeah. But he Gigantamaxed his Charizard, and I still killed it in 1 hit. It's just like, oh no, this fight's over. And it felt really cathartic to be like, you don't bring Charizard into competitive Pokemon. You don't. I was tempted to get a Pokemon to use Stealth Rock just to really rub it in.
You know, Zero, I spoke to a couple of my friends that moved to Canada but were back in town for a few days. I spoke to one of them a couple of days ago. They came up with the theory that part of the reason for nuking half of the Pokedex in this game was to slaughter competitive play.
I disagree with that entirely. And the reason for that is very simple. They did not have enough development time or resources for this. Like, the Pokemon Company makes a lot of money. They did not give Game Freak a lot of money and time. And when Game Freak was forced to make cuts, they decided to stick with what they thought would just fit best with the region and bounce around that. There's lots of small balance changes in Sword and Shield, such as making accuracy an important stat again, which that has RNG to it, and I guess you could kind of use that as evidence for them trying to slaughter competitive play. But honestly, I disagree. They support a lot of tournaments. If anything, it's just a matter of the Pokemon Company is kind of terrible, and it really sucks when, like, say for example, when Nintendo was working with a in-house project, with Breath of the Wild, they pulled people from Monolith Soft to make the Xenoblade series to help them work with a huge open world because they're experienced. Pokemon Company doesn't do the same for Game Freak because Pokemon is a second party franchise. It's not first party. Pokemon Company has basically first say in a lot of things, and they're running a multimedia franchise. So yeah, if you were to give this game 3 or 4 years instead of like 1 or 2, you could probably have everything in there. And even if Pokemon were cut, the world and everything would be, like, the game itself would be much better. But yeah, that's my take.
Well, I won't deny it would be nice to see more to this game, and I think they'd do a lot better if they did wait a little while for putting in the extra time and effort, but profit, what can you say?
Yeah, like Game Freak morale, there was a report of morale at Game Freak is at an all-time low. Because, you got to understand that they're trapped in a situation in which they're receiving all of the backlash and criticism, and they can't really do anything about that. So, yeah. I feel bad for Game Freak because you can tell they tried their best with a lot of quality of life features, like the whole going to in every Pokemon Center you can change names, remember moves, delete moves, and there's lots of features which feel half implemented, like the whole wild area. But it just comes down to what can we get done in the time we have and with the resources we have. It's like, this is what we got. And I see the comparison online to like Breath of the Wild, but you have to remember Breath of the Wild had over 100 people that could just be like thrown at it at any given time, and all those people would play test it at the same time, and they had delayed that game multiple times as well. People still have problems with it, but you can't deny the game isn't beautiful.
Can't deny the game isn't beautiful.
Lots of negatives in that sentence, I know. You can't deny the game is beautiful. Sorry. I'm brain. Yeah. So all this, there's been a lot of negativity around the whole Pokemon thing, especially with people being like, oh, they're trying to, like you said, people coming up with theories like they're trying to slaughter competitive, or stuff like they're trying to be lazy. I see a lot. And I think back to when I look at the official Pokemon channel on YouTube, and there's videos of like actual tournaments for like the card game and grand finals for the actual games themselves. There's no reason that they would try to purposely hurt competitive. If anything, Game Freak would want to rebalance it so you don't just see the same 6 teams every single time with the same few Pokemon, like Landorus.
I mean, there's nothing necessarily wrong with wanting to shake up the meta, but I don't really know if that's really an intent.
I think that they were trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Well, I should definitely not listen to gossip quite so readily then. Though, do you have a citation for your argument?
I mean, not off the top of my head. I've done a bit of research, but it's plain and easy to see, I guess, as well, with the fact that when you look at the Pokemon franchise as a whole, they have to release the card games, the specific packs to go along with the games. They have to release the anime to go along with the games. They have to keep the anime and the card games going, because if they don't keep them going, then interest and engagement goes down.
Right. Orange Island, Battle Frontier. Yep, I remember those times.
So, if you want to keep the multimedia approach going, you cannot delay the game. It is physically impossible because so many things are already in motion. And you would actually lose millions to try to delay that. Things are already shipped, things are already in warehouses. Just from a purely business standpoint, they can't. They should, obviously, for the sake of the games being better, delay them, give them more time, give them more resources, but they're not going to.
Well, this took a depressing turn.
Mm-hmm.
Patient, has anything else?
Nothing much, really. Might be restarting Persona 5 again since I failed again. Maybe.
The Royal is out in Japan, man.
I know. But I still have plenty of time to finish this before it comes out in America.
Yeah, but will you want to play it again, though?
I want to get all of the trophies. I am determined to complete my trophy collection before Royal comes out.
Like the PlayStation trophies?
Yes. What did you think I meant?
I didn't hear that. What?
I said, what else could I mean?
I have no idea. I actually haven't played Persona 5 since it came out. So, for all I know, there could be in-game trophies. I don't know. Or things that go into your room. That
Well, there are.
Or something.
And I'm trying to collect all of those too.
I don't think you can do all those in one run.
Say again?
Oh, your microphone is doing some fun things. I don't think you can do everything in one run, like getting all of the decorations and all the social links, confidants, whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised just with the stuff that's hidden behind New Game Plus. It's not my biggest priority. My biggest priority is getting the trophies, as far as I can tell. Thank you, Zero.
Yeah, there's a source for
shit.
what I had heard about the morale being at an all-time low.
Austin Walker, that guy's legit, so
Yeah,
I'm
it's awesome.
predisposed
Yeah,
to trusting this.
There's other articles that I've read over over a while, but I can't just find them all. All right, where are we?
We were at the end of my section because I lead a dull enough life that even after all of these weeks, I don't have anything noteworthy to discuss.
There's nothing wrong with having an uneventful life. I mean, as long as you're happy.
Yeah, it's better than everything bad always happening.
True.
Yeah. Sorry, Casey.
What for? Okay. Slicer.
All right. Well, what is the last thing I told you guys about my car?
That it's shit. I don't know whether that's the last thing, but I feel like that's a thing you've told us multiple times.
Okay. So, on the last 2 days of my last job, or last 2 weeks, I was rolling down a hill, and my serpent belt tensioner popped. Uh, that's not good because the serpentine belt controls a lot of things. One of them is power steering. So at the end of that roll, I go into the turning lane, and it felt like I had to put my entire body weight into turning my car because my power steering went out. It was time to panic at that point, but thankfully I was only a couple blocks from where my parking garage was. That cost me $300. So I have since bought a new car. I now have a 2017 Jeep Renegade.
Right.
And my family is going to get the Cavalier because it is the family vehicle. I just used it, and so yeah, that's been great. Owning a car that is newer, I jump forward quite a bit. Like I can sync my phone and listen to podcasts through the Bluetooth of the vehicle, so that's really nice. I don't have to have earbuds in my ears all the time, which I'm sure is destroying my hearing. I'm entirely certain it is.
Yeah. All that sort of stuff in cars just still, like, we still use cars from, like, I don't know, 2000, early 2000s. So all that sort of modern Bluetooth everything and digital everything still just seems like fucking magic to me.
Yeah,
I'm that guy now.
I got a Bluetooth thing in my car, so I can just click a button and be like, Bluetooth audio, and it connects to my phone, and I can play music through Bluetooth.
It's pretty cool. I'm just happy it doesn't use data. It just connects right to it. It doesn't use my own data unless I actually like listen to YouTube or whatever.
You can also just plug in directly with like a USB.
Yeah, it's got that. It's got an aux cable entry and stuff like that. So very useful.
Fucking wizardry.
That's been really nice. It is basically wizardry because I went from a completely manual car, crank windows, electric or manual locks, to this, a car that will lock itself if I go over 15 miles an hour.
So, yeah, my car has a screen on the dash,
Yep.
which I thought told me how many miles until empty, and then I realized that's not miles; it's minutes.
Oh, that's an interesting breakdown. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's interesting because I thought it was miles, but it's like this is going down too quickly to be miles. I'm not even going like 20 miles. Like, but this car drive has been 20 minutes. Oh.
Huh. I don't think I have something like that. I've seen some cars that do.
I'm not sure whether that would be more accurate or less.
I don't know either. I'm just like looking at my freaking how much gas I have left and be like, oh, I think I'll just stop at the gas station really quickly just in case.
Yeah, I think mine measures my average miles per gallon. So I think if I had something like that, it might work better because yours would work off some predestined miles per minute gas mileage thing.
I can flip around the settings a lot too. There's a lot of different things. It's complicated. There was no instruction manual with that car, so I'm figuring things out.
Yeah, that I actually downloaded the manual by accident on my phone. I was looking it up, and I don't know if you guys look around on or PDFs online with phones, but they just automatically download them. So,
yay!
There was a chunk of my data that I just used by accident, but whatever. So
I think it
that's
depends
been
on the
really
phone
nice.
too.
The gas mileage of this one is slightly better than my old car, so that's been nice. It's not enough to really change much, but I am saving a bit of money. I went from paying about $24 when I fill up to about 21, so a little bit less. And started the new job. Just finished my first actual week because I had orientation for my first week, and that was kind of boring. Because I was a transfer, I didn't actually have to go through a lot of the orientation, and all the training videos online I had already seen. So there was only a couple. Seeing as it is a hospital instead of a music building, there were a lot of like bloodborne pathogen stuff.
A
But
lot more procedures to follow.
yeah, yeah. And the training manual for how to clean a room, which I don't actually do, was pretty immense.
Hmm.
I'm on floor project crew, so stripping and waxing tile, vacuuming floors, scrubbing floors, that kind of thing. I'm not on bedmaker crew, so
Yeah.
who knows?
Doing rooms probably requires some level of
Yeah.
sterilization on top of just cleaning. So
Yes, yeah, we actually have these giant machines. They're called a Trudy, TRU-D. They look like a giant R2D2, and they just you take the plastic panels off it, set it in the middle of a room, and leave the room in a hurry because it just blasts it with the power of the sun to disinfect the air.
fuck, that sounds cool.
It's really nice, actually. It's really cool. Okay, we have like I think we have 55 of these things. They run on their own Wi-Fi, and renting the Wi-Fi for one machine for 1 month is $5,000 each. So it's very expensive, and that's not even accounting for the repairs of the machine, buying the machine to begin with, which they're $85,000 each, and then the electricity that you're going to be using, because it is, it's a giant machine full of huge light bulbs. So yeah, I'm not actually sure. It's supposed to fight, what is it, SIDS? The thing where you get explosive diarrhea and it can kill you. Because that's most commonly got in a hospital. So they're trying to keep those numbers down with this machine.
I don't think that's called SIDS. SIDS is a
I
different
don't.
thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of acronyms at the hospital. I'm trying to memorize them all.
Yeah, SIDS is sudden infant death syndrome. That's a different
Right,
thing.
that's probably not it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, if they just modified the rooms a little bit to be more bleach friendly, they could actually achieve the same level of cleanliness as the machine. Because bleach is great.
I mean, it dropped off at the very end, but yeah.
The bleach is awesome.
Dumb
But
joke.
Obligatory joke.
thank you.
Yeah.
And so I'm not actually sure how long they'll have those machines, so I gotta enjoy them while they're around.
Do you talk to? I would talk to it. I would. I feel like those need to be voice activated.
Well, they do. They're all linked to an iPad, and so I guess you could talk into the iPad. I mean, it might be voice activated. I'm not really sure. You might be able to program it in different code words to turn it on. That would be pretty great.
Just fucking. You have a robot that's got a fucking goddamn code name. It's great. It's like you have a claptrap, but good.
Yeah, true. I mean, it can handle stairs about as well. Worse even, actually, since it's a giant machine full of light bulbs. But yeah, my first week was spent learning the garbage routes of the building. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them, and I was put on the longest one because I'm a young guy with decent legs. You have to go through this route about 7 or 8 times a night. The route is 1 mile long, carrying a giant metal cart.
Oh.
It's a lot of walking. My feet hurt by the end of the week. Actually, it was my ankles. But
yeah, I would imagine that's pretty tough on your ankles.
Yeah. A bit on your knees, too, because you're kind of walking at an angle. But
Oof.
Yeah. The front of the card is also an ankle destroyer. If you run that thing into your legs, it's about ankle height. And so I ran it into my Achilles tendon, and that was just awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad my socks caught it, and it just left like a welt, and it didn't just shear the skin off my ankle. Looking forward to that. But yeah, that's been about my job experience so far. Me, my girlfriend, and my brother went to a gaming store last night. One about an hour away, so local for me. And we did D&D night. We had
Yeah,
a
I was going to ask
little
video or tabletop.
tabletop. Yeah, they do have VR setups there, but we weren't doing that. We were there for tabletop night, and it went really, really well. So I think that's going to be our new Saturday. I do work every fifth weekend though, and I'm the ride for half the team now because we have 7 people, and there's 3 of us in my car. And so I'm curious what they're going to do on that weekend. If they'll try and just... Because we have 2 rogues, a wizard, a sorcerer, an archer, a ranger, sorry, and a cleric, and then me, the barbarian. The ranger, the cleric, and me, the barbarian, are in one car, so we would not be there. So they'd be left with 2 magic users and 2 rogues. So...
Is this like an Adventurous League thing? Or...
I actually don't know. It's just 5e Dungeons and Dragons. I think they have modules there. I'm not really sure. I think it's custom made because the DM brought like his own hand-drawn map. So it might just be...
I mean, is it like a thing just run by the gaming store, or is this just a game you run out of there because it's convenient because everything's there?
Oh, they hire DMs, and then you pay $10 to play per session, and then the DM gets to take home, I think it's like $8 out of every 10, and then a cut of the snack prices or something like that.
Oh yeah, that sounds kind of like Adventurous League.
It might be. I'm not familiar, so maybe. Yeah, that was quite a bit of fun. I am having a bit of difficulty adjusting to my new schedule. Because before I would do all my day things, and then if I went long, I would just cut into my sleep, which was not healthy, but I never had to worry I was going to be late for something, because I would always just sacrifice sleep, and that has never ever been a problem for me. On a personality way, anyway. I mean, health-wise, that was terrible, but now if I oversleep, it starts my entire day late, so it can really fuck me up. So I actually definitely have to set an alarm to wake myself up. So that'll take a little bit of adjusting, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's see. I've been playing Pillars of Eternity. I got that on PS4, which is a lot more... The controls are a little finicky, but it's not in a bad way. It's just like I can't remember what button opens this menu. So it just takes a little bit of memorization. That's a really fun game. Boy, I die a lot, though. It's like, I was doing well, and then I entered this new area, and then there are 4 areas open up, and I choose one at random, and suddenly, look, dragons.
Okay.
Yeah. And, my entire party was wailing on one of them, and I finally killed it, and then 3 fucking more show up and just wipe me. So... that was interesting. That was the last time I played. Was like, I think 2 days ago. Just took a little break after the dragon slaughter. But it is really fun.
Pretty good.
I don't know why I couldn't seem to get into it on the computer, but it seems on the PS4 it's just a lot more user-friendly. I'm not really sure how.
I don't know. Maybe they retooled some systems for that release. I don't know.
That, or... I think I was worried my laptop was going to explode if I played it for too long, because the vent on mine is not good, or the fan isn't good. So it'll just start venting out fire. It's very, very warm. And so I was concerned that I was going to cook it if I played the game for too long. I don't have that lingering constant worry when I play on the PS4. So yeah, that I believe that's what I'm. Oh wait, I also started playing Immortal Redneck. Anyone heard that?
No.
No, I have not. Please tell me
Well,
more about the Immortal Redneck.
it is a first-person shooter roguelike. Uh, you are a redneck, a good old boy from Kansas, and you're just riding around in a buggy in Egypt, as you do, and you fall into a big pit and die. The sand buries you, and you die. And then you wake up, and three... What are those black dog, demon, angel, god things? Emotep? What the serpent do
Anubis
that?
type things,
Yeah,
or no?
one of them. Something from that lore. The black canine people are turning into a mummy, and then you shoot them in the face, and then you have to fight your way through three different pyramids. And because you're now a mummy, you are immortal, and you just start over. And every time you come back out, you can give money to this tree of life thing, and it gets you better upgrades, and it's pretty good.
That sounds honestly a lot more entertaining than the name have. That.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
fucking name.
that description goes places.
Yeah, it really colors the rest of the story, despite not really being relevant to anything.
Well, your character is... He is a redneck, and he does say things. When you, like, pick up a new gun, he'll give a bit of flavor text for it. Or, flavor speech, whatever. You see a boss, he'll make some funny quip about it. I mean, you are definitely a redneck, and you are immortal. It's not an inaccurate name, but
Fair
yeah.
enough. All
So
right.
yeah, I think that game's like $10 on the store, PlayStation Store, and I think it's even less on Steam. I actually had it on Steam, but I never got around to
You are
playing it.
immortal.
I don't know
Oh,
what Zero's
gosh.
chunnering about. He's just kind of...
You're definitely a redneck and you're immortal. That's how you described it. I'm just like, that's a perfect description.
Yeah, I mean it's a good name. It is what it is. So yeah, that is my week. I believe
Alright.
so.
So, Zero, how's it going?
Oh, hey. So, I beat Pokemon Sword. I'm in like the post-game chapter.
Without an obstagoon.
Yeah, without Obstagoon because, I have taste. But, I'm kidding.
Enjoying shit is, in fact, taste. It is technically fits the definition. Bad taste
Yeah.
is still good. Is still taste.
Mm-hmm. Sure. But, joking aside, I enjoyed that game. I enjoyed that game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good game.
Mm.
I would call it a fun game, even.
You know what would make it more fun?
Not Obstagoon.
A team full of obstagoon.
Um,
Squad.
I would like to disagree.
I don't know, man. That Phalanx was pretty cute. So
Phalanx is pretty good.
I
Name
could
them
stand
all
a team
Bodger.
full of that.
There's 6 Phalanx every time you get 1 Phalanx. So if you get 6 Phalanxes, you get 36 Phalanx. That means you have 36 Pokemon. That means nobody can stop you.
It's true. I mean, that's just science.
I'm pretty sure 6 angry badgers could stop you. Bodger,
That
Bodger,
is
Bodger,
a-
Bodger, Bodger, and Bodger. They would
Not against
rip you to
36
shreds.
Spartans.
I don't know, man. It is Badgers. I don't know. That's a strong case.
Yeah, I had a week. Definitely, that one could call a week. I did some more substitute teaching. I substitute in a middle school for the first time.
Oh.
and at the same time also in a special education class for the first time
Ooh.
Oh, sweet.
for like a half day. It was nice. Good kids. There were lots of aides to kind of help.
Yep.
So it was a pretty easy half day for like 50, $60. And I enjoyed that. Helped my mom set up her class for what we in the industry call Thanksgiving. Decorations and whatnot. And then I substitute for her in the afternoon for a half day. So that was pretty nice. I feel a lot more confident now that I've done it more often.
Did you have the kids draw hand turkeys?
I didn't do the hand turkeys. I'm pretty sure they did the hand turkeys at some point,
Hmm.
but I wasn't around for that. Yeah,
I have seen too much of American culture that I know that that's a thing.
yeah. No,
I mean-
they had a whole thing where they cut out various pieces to make a turkey through glue and arts and crafts,
Okay.
which those are humongous, but they look really good. Like you
Yeah,
cut out the arms and the
wasn't-
feet and the feathers, like 3 big feathers, little wings.
Turkey arms, huh?
I said wings.
You said arms.
Well, that was a what we call in the industry a brain fart. I don't know what industry we're in, but that's what I call it. Aside from all that, I went and I saw Joker again with a friend who hadn't seen it because I was being forced out of my house due to cleaning ladies coming by, and so I took a friend.
You can't just tell them you don't want them to clean your room, You pay them.
I mean, I don't pay them, but at the same time, I need them to clean my room. It was pretty bad.
Do you not clean your own fucking room?
I mean, I get rid of most of the
No,
stuff. It's just
I
It's just maybe,
understand.
like-
He has people to do that for him, Slicer.
I mean, I clean up a lot of the stuff. They just take care of the finer details. They're really good. High quality
I
service.
assume you're paying them.
I'm not paying them. My parents are.
Or whatever.
Yes. Semantics. I know. Yeah. So it was fun just to go see a movie with a friend. I don't get to do that often with just me and a friend and not just my whole family. Because that's usually when we end up going to movie theaters because I don't usually like paying for movies.
That's fair. Is there not a discount theater around you?
It was like there's a theater really like close to my house, and it was Tuesday, so it was half off day, which means all the tickets are like $5 a ticket, which is as opposed to like the $10 they're charging now.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it's like $8 full price around here.
Yeah, so I'm just like, you know what? I'll just spend $10 for a ticket for me and my friend, and we can just get in there and see a movie, hang out, and that was really nice. Aside from that and everything, substitute teaching, working at KFC, it's going to be Thanksgiving next week, and that means that KFC is just going to die for a little bit because after Thanksgiving, nobody wants to eat KFC.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So we're going to be extremely slow.
Do people fight over the shifts that are after Thanksgiving? Like, hey, let me be on this one. Get the easy one.
Most people are like either A, friggin' I don't want to work right after Thanksgiving. I want to go and get drunk or something. Or B, it's really boring after Thanksgiving. Like, really boring. but I'm working on like Saturday, so it'll be fun. It'll still be slow, but I'm used to that. I've worked after Thanksgiving for like years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of other things. I mean, D&D obviously I'm still doing. Um, the gang in my Thursday game, which is the harder game, tried to stealth around a giant golem made of red poisonous crystals, and they failed in their attempt to blind it. And then the combat happened, and near death, which was, that's kind of the par for the course in that game. Somebody either nearly dies or dies, which is fun. It's exciting. It's thrilling, and they had a good plan. It's just the dice weren't with them.
Hmm.
They tried to throw. What was that?
Do they actually die often, or is it they just go down?
They go down often, but one character died a few sessions ago, and before that, another character died. A few a while back. So there's been 2 PC deaths so far in that game.
Okay.
It's a bi-weekly game, so we don't always meet, but it's I stressed at the start this is a dangerous game. So sometimes the dice aren't going to be with you and you will just die, and there's nothing you can really do about that. So have fun, be crazy, be creative. And that's actually worked out very well. That game's a lot of fun. It's my own original world, too, so I've been enjoying just fleshing that out. And having my own fantasy world means that if I ever decide to go actually start writing novels, I have a place to set them in. Then there's the other game, the Saturday game, which is just the silly high-power game in which they flew the Millennium Falcon through hell. And yeah, this is what happens when one of the characters specifically really wants their character to be a Jedi. One of the players, I mean.
Well, that sounds entertaining.
He's a Kensei monk. And he has it's in Tal'Dorei, the Critical Role world. But I've heavily modified it and set 200 years in the past. And he has a lightsaber as his vestige.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that party's like level 12 now. Whereas the other party that's nearly dying every session is level 7, and they don't have a cleric or paladin. They are monk, barbarian, bard/rogue multiclass, warlock, and druid. Which means they kind of lack dedicated healing.
I imagine a lot of their money goes toward health potions, yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. They're in a place where they can't buy them.
Oh.
They're in a dungeon where they're kind of trapped and trying to escape from it. Also, healing potions are rare in that setting. They're also empowered. So one of the custom rules I have is so that a healing potion heals the maximum amount that you would normally roll for.
Oh, okay.
So if you find a healing potion, just like a minor healing potion, that's guaranteed 10 HP. You find a greater, that's guaranteed 20 HP. But, the side effect is they're a lot harder to come by.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's been my week so far. Not doing any D&D next week because, or rather, this weekend upcoming, because, hey, Thanksgiving, take time with my family, relax a little bit. Yeah. Well, that's it for me.
Also, this week so far, it's Sunday that we're recording this. Just want to...
Yeah, I know. It doesn't feel like it.
It's been a long week, I guess.
I mean, I would consider that the end of the week.
Yeah.
Monday is the start of the week for me.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah, so I guess that's the episode, unless anyone has a recommendation.
None come to mind. Just working 2 jobs, DMing 2 games, and playing in 2 more.
That doesn't sound like a recommendation.
Not
It's not,
exactly a
it's not a recommendation. That's my life.
Yeah.
And trying to work a 3rd job.
Yeah, I haven't really read anything good. I tried, because I was in the mood to suffer, I tried reading VF Snake's Naruto DBZ crossover.
Oh yeah, I saw an update for that in the chapter thing. I don't know why I followed it at some point. I guess I didn't bother reading it though.
I followed him back when I started reading fanfiction, back when I had shit taste. Oh man, he has not improved. So,
Look this up.
anti-recommendation, Naruto of the Saiyans. Boy, was that bad.
That sounds bad.
It was bad.
God, when did I get that fucking chapter? There it is. Like 3 days ago. 2 days ago. Friday.
On the note of bad fan fiction, do you remember Luffy's renewed adventure? You remember how I always insisted that it was a story with a lot of promising ideas, but let down by mediocre execution? The author is now doing a rewrite.
Is the author doing a rewrite and admitting, hey, yeah, I basically changed everything but still had everything on canon rails and that was stupid? Because I hope so.
You can check the latest chapter updates to see for yourself, but pretty much, yeah.
Oh.
He's invited people to apply to be co-writers for it, just to make sure that he has better ideas for the story going forward.
Go figure. The thing that I told him fucking years ago and he argued fiercely with me about, he's finally decided I was right, I guess. So that's, I guess, gratifying? I don't know. I feel like that's still a failure on my part that I didn't manage to convince him that maybe he should think about it, but oh well. He came around eventually.
Well, I've put my name forward. Yeah, there are a couple of others who are helping with it. I'm not going to give away too many details, but the work has begun, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of it. So, maybe keep an eye on this story because it might be better than you remember it in a little while.
Well, I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
So I guess that's an episode. Podcast.
My family's very excited for football downstairs.
I can tell.
Who's playing?
I believe it's Cowboys right now, and we're all big Cowboys fans. I say we, but it's really them. I don't care much for the sports ball.
Likewise.
I haven't watched
I do need to get
American
one of those
football in
shirts.
ages.
There's the Philip
thanks
DeFranco
for
shirts that just say sports on them. I need one of those.
Casey, apparently my microphone likes you better than it likes me.
What do you mean?
Because I was just trying to say thanks for listening to the Fandom Flux podcast episode 281. If you wanted to get in contact with us, you can get in contact. And my microphone cutting out, as you can.
case
It
it
is
takes
doing
out.
that.
And that beeping means it's time to end the episode, so that's how you do a segue, by the way. No, it's not. That's not what that is at all.
Nope.
This was Fandom Flux podcast episode, whatever number it was, who cares? If you want to get in contact, you can do so through the YouTube channel through the comments, though the YouTube system for doing so is kind of shit. Also, like, comment, and subscribe, because it's important that I say that, because YouTube is stupid.
Yeah, we didn't talk.
What? Whatever. Also, public Discord, link in the description. Please do it on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, link in the description. Thanks for listening. It's a bang.
I'm gonna go eat. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, by the way, Zero, were you the one talking about Pokemon Sword earlier?
Yes.
And you said that your starter was the rabbit?
Yes. Yes, I did.